Hey guys, welcome to Digital Learning Days, week number 1. Woohoo! So, ceramics. Everybody took home a little bag of clay. Um, Everybody had a varying amount, but today I'm going to go through a demonstration on how we make coil pots. Okay, these are some examples of what coil pots look like, and it's really learning how to roll some coils out, stacking the coils up, and smoothing out the inside to combine all the coils. So what this means, there's going to be a couple of requirements for this piece. Okay, one is that you have two alternative forms of coils. Okay, now what that means is a normal coil is just one on top of the other. Okay, an alternative coil is going to be something that's twisted, a spiral, a ball. Here's a braided coil, another twisted, more balls, more twisted. So you're going to choose two, not four, two alternative types of coiling to add to your pinch or to your coil pot, excuse me. So how big is it supposed to be? How big can you make it? So not everyone's going to have a ton of clay that they took home. So you're going to make it as big as you can. And then we'll smooth the inside together. You'll watch this process of how this goes, and we'll go from there. Okay, so let's get started. So I have my examples. I'm going to move these over to the side. And everything that we're going to be using for this demonstration today, you should have in your household. So I'm not using any normal ceramics tools or anything like that that I would normally use. I'm only going to use things that you guys would have at home. Okay, so let's get started. I just grabbed a piece of cardboard, okay, to use as my base so I don't get the table all dirty. And the first thing that I'm going to do is create a base to build my coils up on top of, okay? So this base is going to be this section right here. I need something to trace this base around. So I'm just going to pound down some clay, okay? Great stress reliever. And if you have a rolling pin or a can or something like that that you can use to roll, what I'm going to do is grab some saran wrap, okay? So I'm going to put the saran wrap over my piece of clay that's on my cardboard, and I'm going to use my rolling pin, and I'm going to roll out my clay just to be a little bit smoother, okay? Now, all of this, the only thing that this saran wrap is doing is making sure that I don't get your parents or grandparents or whomever's nice little rolling pin dirty with clay, okay? So the saran wrap's just going to cover it so you don't get it dirty. I can take that off now. And now I'm just going to put something on top of this piece to cut out the base, okay? So for me, I'm just going to use my little coffee cup here. You could grab maybe a can, like a canned vegetables or something like that. That would be a great size for a smaller base. You don't want your base to be too big because we're not really making huge pots here. So I have my piece set. I'm going to cut around the bottom of the base with a plastic knife, okay? So I'm going to take my plastic knife and I am going to cut around the bottom, okay, of my coffee cup. And then I'm going to remove the extra clay. So now I just have this nice little base here, okay? I'm going to make sure I can take it off of the cardboard just so that I know it's not stuck on there, okay? My base is not perfect, but that's okay because I'm going to be putting coils over the top of it, okay? So how to coil. I'm going to move this because I'm going to use the tabletop. Although if you guys are at home, I still want you to use a surface that is covered in cardboard so you don't get clay everywhere. Okay, please. So I'm going to move that out of the way. And I'm going to show you how to create a coil. So what I'm going to do is take a piece of clay and I'm going to kind of thin it out a little bit with just my hands. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, and I'm kind of thinning it into a coil shape. Now, when I coil, I like to stand up, okay? Because if I'm sitting down rolling a coil, I'm pushing out whoop, towards you guys. Hey, high five, okay? If I'm standing, I'm pushing down, and then I'm creating a better surface standing. I'm pushing down towards the table, so I'm really condensing the clay in between my hands and the tabletop. Now, if you notice my hands, I'm pushing down the clay as I'm rolling it back and forth, and I'm moving my hand all along this coil, okay? So as I'm moving it, I'm putting a little pressure. You can notice the coil is going at all the same time, and I'm really rolling from all the way here to my fingertips. Okay. If your coil, so let's take another one. If I just roll back and forth like this, okay, notice my coil becomes flat. So you really want to push all the way down, okay, and all the way through the coil. There we go. So I have a couple coils. Now, I'm doing this a lot faster than what you guys will end up creating. So don't get stressed out by that. Okay, so here's my board, okay? I'm going to put my coil pieces on top of my base. Now, this clay is really wet, so if it wasn't wet, if it was a little bit drier, I would do something called slipping and scoring, okay? You can slip and score with a fork, okay? This is a great tool to use. So right here, I just have a fork that I'm using. And here we have, I'm going to score the surface with this fork. So I'm just scoring, making these little marks in the clay, okay, on all different types of directions. So kind of making like a cross-hatching pattern. So let's see if you guys can see that better. There it is, it's all scored up. And then, so slipping and scoring, this is the scoring. Slipping is using slip. Now, because we don't have slip, which is, as we know from our 6 stages of clay, slip is slurry, which is that first really wet stage of clay. We don't have that at home, so I'm just using a little tiny cup of water. So I'm just picking up a little water with my finger, and I'm going to rub the water into the cracks that I just made from scoring, okay? So when I'm done slipping and scoring, okay, I'm filling in all of the cracks with the water. So now you can't see those cracks anymore, okay? So now we are ready to start putting down our coils. I'm going to start with my first coil, and I'm going to just attach this coil right here. I'm going to smooth out so it's kind of attached to the base, and I'm going to put my first coil on. Now, I am going to cut my coil off when I get to the start. So like it goes just around once. So you can see here's my little coil. Okay. Now I'm going to keep adding to it. So I put my next coil on. And again, I'm going to just tear it off right at the where I started. So it has one time, and I'm just kind of every time I do this, I'm just smoothing out the end of and the beginning of that coil so that it's just not separate. So I'm combining them. Okay. So I made extra coils before I sat down so that the video would go a little bit smoother. So I'm just continuing to put these coils on top of each other. Okay. And again, I am stopping between once I go all the way around. So now you can see my coil pot has 3 layers, 1, 2, 3, okay, on the inside here. So the next stage would be to smooth out the inside, because right now, if I was going to finish, you'll notice, ta-da, these coils are not combined. I can just take them right off the coil pot, okay? So in order to get this pot to be combined and all the coils to go together, I'm actually going to smooth out the inside. So I'm going to take the back of my fingernail and the front of my finger, and I'm just going to, see if you guys can get this, I'm going to push the walls down. Now this is kind of hard to do because I can't really see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to push the walls down all the way around, and I'm holding the outside when I do it, okay? Holding the outside. And then once you've gone all the way around, I can use the back of my, I like to use the back of my nail so that I just kind of am using this, see, like that, on the sides to really combine those edges, okay? And then I would smooth it all out together, okay? So you're going to continue to do this. I'm going to smooth this part out, okay? I smooth the inside, and now I'm going to keep building up. Now for my next coil, maybe I want to do a braided coil, okay, where I take braids or take the coils and braid them. Maybe I want to take a couple of coils and do some sort of design with them just by twisting them like that, okay? And then maybe I would do that. Anything, any design that you do is fine, but again, you're going to want to hold this back side. I always want to combine every single one of my layers. So even if I'm going to use this twisted layer, I'm still going to smooth this inside out so that my pot is completely smooth on the inside. Yes, it doesn't look completely smooth, but you get the picture, okay? So I'm going to keep going as high as I can with as many coils as I can as how much clay you guys have. But again, requirements is that it has two different types of decorative coiling. This could be one. I could make a couple of balls, just plain old balls, okay, of clay, and I could put them on top. Again, you would want to combine them by pushing them in the middle. So you can see I've really attached the inside of that ball, okay? The next layer could be balls around the whole thing, and then just regular coils as high as you can go, okay? What you're going to end up doing then is completing this project. You're going to take a picture of the project when you're done with it, and you're going to upload it to your OneNote account, okay? After that, there's going to be a reflection that you guys are going to fill out on the process of this and how the video was, if it made learning better, if there's something I could have done to make your learning process more complete. So I ask you to complete those two things, and those will be due by 9 a.m. on Monday, I believe. So happy clay making. Have fun with your coil pot, and email me if you have any questions. Okay? Playtime. Happy Digital Learning Days. Week number 1, everybody. Miss you.